So we are back with a session with Saeed, who's going to be talking about all about routing your way to Azure Copilot Mastery. And with that, I am now going to hand it over to him, and he will take this away. Hi, Saeed.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. I'll leave it. I'll
Okay,
leave you to
good.
run with it.
Okay, amazing. So, thank you so much, Microsoft Reactor, to give me this opportunity to be on this stage. It's amazing always to be on stage with communities and have this opportunity to share. And of course, I can learn more with this kind of circulation of the knowledge. Today, we have this topic, Microsoft Copilot for Azure. And it's pretty much to understand it's pretty much important to understand why we need to learn more about Microsoft Copilot. In this particular topic, it's about Azure. And all of you know already a lot about Microsoft Copilot, but in this specific session, we are going to talk about Microsoft Copilot for Azure. Before I start the actual session, I want to mention two important things. First of all, Microsoft Copilot for Azure is in public preview. So you might face some, unrelated answers, or if you face some kind of weird answers, but it's okay because improving a lot on this service, and thanks to Microsoft teams that they are working on this service day to day. And second one is the kind of question that I always receiving from community, or some feedbacks from community, that they ask, okay, if we have Microsoft Copilot for Azure, what will be happen for a Microsoft Azure admin? So is it something that is going to be replaced with an Azure admin? So the answer is no. Don't panic. Don't run around the world and crying, screaming, oh, okay, Microsoft Copilot is coming to be replaced with an Azure admin. So this is not the correct answer. Basically, Azure Copilot, or Microsoft Copilot for Azure, is your assistant. It's here to help you. It's not going to be replaced with an Azure admin. So this is a great solution. This is a great tool that you can use to improve your daily basis task. So with that said, we are going to start the session. And yeah, the boring part of my session. So this is Saidal. I'm from beautiful Sweden, and hope you enjoy your summertime so far. I really enjoyed. Today it's cloudy here, and it's beautiful in Sweden. I'm Microsoft Azure MVP, as well as Microsoft Learn expert. So I started my journey 17 years ago, and since then I love this journey, and I passionate about sharing and also learning from sharing, and it's really amazing. More than that, I'm Microsoft Learn. I'm leading two Microsoft Learn community called Microsoft Zero to Hero and MS Farsi. So basically, we have 6,000 members together, and it's really great because we have this opportunity to share about Microsoft technology and also learn from learners. Beside that, I'm so honored that I'm part of Global Azure Admin team. So we helping communities to be active and be successful in their journey of sharing with the rest of people in the world. Beside that, my expertise around Azure automation, integration, cloud adoption, hybrid environment, and all things around that. And beside that, I'm senior solution architect at a company called Upheads. So yeah, if you would like to connect me, you have the link of LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, and also my website. So let's jump back to the important part, which is our topic, Azure Copilot, or Microsoft Copilot for Azure. So what I'm going to tell you about this session, or in this session, this live session, is all starting from basic terms, and also we are going to look on some possibilities and solutions and, let's say, capabilities of Microsoft Copilot for Azure in this presentation. So with that said, let's start with very basic part of this session, Azure. Most of you already know about Azure, but for those that are pretty new on this area, so Azure is your best cloud friend, I would say, because if you are data scientist, if you are developer, if you are IT professional, Azure offer you a bunch of services that you can deploy inside Azure, and you can leverage those services to be able to actually create some application services for your enterprise or even your company. So it's a great feature. It's a great service that you can use to scale your digital solutions. So the other one is the Copilot. So more or less, you are, I believe, worked with Copilot. You heard about that Copilot for GitHub, Copilot for M365, and there are more coming. But the main concept of Copilot is an AI virtual assistant that helps you to, increase your daily jobs, the performance of your job, and the result of your task can be more accurate. And also you can save a lot of time. You can spend your important time for the most important part of your task. So it's a great AI assistant that can help you to, as I mentioned here, headlining routing process and offering intelligence recommendations. So the most important part is combination of Azure and Microsoft Copilot. So Microsoft Copilot for Azure is designed to assist you in managing your Azure environment. So you can more effectively use AI and leverage AI to automate your task, or even get better answer for different questions that you have about your environment. So Azure Copilot is an AI-powered assistant that is integrate into Azure ecosystem to help you manage your cloud resources very better. So it leverages the large language model, LLM, and it can insight from your Azure resources and real-time data provided, recommendations or performing tasks, and answer your queries about your Azure environment. And it's really great. So basically, Copilot is simplified cloud management and increased productivity. So it's really important to understand how much Microsoft Copilot for Azure will help you in different way. But to understand that in a good way, basically, I've created these kind of framework. Let's say framework. It's not actually a framework because I basically use the current usage of Microsoft Copilot for Azure for this presentation. So the name of this presentation was Routing Your Way to Azure Copilot Mastery. So this route stands for Refine, Operate, Optimize, and Troubleshoot. So when you're using Azure Copilot, the Microsoft Copilot for Azure, you can basically go through these four main areas. If you already work with Microsoft Copilot for Azure, you've seen instead of refine, it's design. But I've changed it to refine because right now I believe refine is better for, it's much more close to what exactly you can do with your environment. However, of course, you can use design as well. So let's have a better look on these four areas. Let's start with refine. So I've created this small graph here, which is showing you as a user, when you ask something from Copilot, it will use Azure Resource Graph to identify, or let's say, find the exact things that you are looking for, because it needs to get some information from your Azure platform. And in a minute, I will dive into some architectural part of Azure Copilot, but this is the general view of, or let's say high-level view of how Copilot for Azure is working. So when we are talking about the refine, so you have several areas that can be covered with refine part. So refining your cloud architect is crucial for achieving optimal performance. This is the most important part that all of us know about that. So we have scalability, we have cost efficiency, and we need to go through a well-architected cloud environment. And we should be able to adopt and doing some on-demand change, demand change, to be able to support to growth of your environment. And as you know, when you have a service on Azure, of course you need to be able to improve it, update it, because it's like ongoing improvements on the services, and some services maybe it's going to be deprecated. So you need to understand when and how you should be you should do some updates and changes. So basically, with Microsoft Copilot for Azure, you can analyze your current architecture and identify area of improvement and receive some recommendations on best practices. So Copilot can assist in deploying new resources, configure them correctly, and ensuring that are integrated seamless into your existing infrastructure. So I've mentioned some items here. For example, analyze your current architecture, identify areas for improvement, provide recommendation, assist in deploying or configuring resource correctly, and ensure seamless integration. Why those areas are important? So as I've mentioned, you need to basically make sure your environment is pretty much updated, because we are talking about time-to-time update or some maintenance plan. But how we can do that? I recorded a demo here for you. And basically, one reason that I don't go with very live demo is, as I've mentioned, public preview version of Copilot is sometimes hard to get correct answer, but it's improving. Since I started using Copilot, I've seen a lot of improvements, but it's a live session, and I don't want to have some problem with demo. So I recorded, and based on this recorded video, I can explain you how you can leverage different part of the Copilot for Azure. So in this demo, I've asked a question about I want to automate Azure SQL database, scaling based on performance, and also some using Azure functions. So this kind of question is something that I'm going to deploy one service, give me some information about best practices. So with asking this question, Azure Copilot using Microsoft Documents, and then provide me the most related answer. And it's really important, because if you are an Azure admin right now, if you want to implement something and you need to basically understand what is the best practices, how you can deploy it in a good way, you normally need to go, Google it, use Bing search, and so on to get the proper answer. But now this one, Azure Copilot for Azure, helps you to basically get the answer inside your environment. And the good thing is, sometimes if you go to some specific part of your Azure portal, the answer is pretty much close to exact what you need about that specific service. So it's pretty much smart that you can use that. For another question, I asked about best practices, and as you can see, it's working on it, determine what exactly to do, and searching documents for Microsoft Learn and data, gathering the information to be able to show you. So this is the all information related to best practices to implement the Azure SQL databases. So it's pretty much cool. You can use it for different way of refine your environment or design something new in your environment. And it helps you a lot to do that. So we just learned about refine, or let's say design part. Let's jump to the other one, which is operate. So when we're talking about operate, we have some different areas to cover. For example, monitoring resource performance, providing real-time insight, monitor health or resources, and make sure about compliance and following the best practices. These kind of operating process, basically it's something that you are doing that day-to-day as a day-to-day task, right? So to ensure that everything runs smoothly, you can leverage Copilot for Azure. So this includes monitoring resources performance, managing workloads, and like ensuring about services are available using Azure Health Service Report, and also performing, increase the performance of the services, because it's helped you a lot. So Azure Copilot for Azure actually designed to assist you in these tasks by providing real-time insight, automating routing operations, and help you to manage resource effectively. So with that said, let's see another demo, which is basically a kind of request that I can show you how you can leverage operate process in this case. So here inside my portal, I use this cute icon there button about Copilot, and I want to create an web application. So the first things that it answers to me, it says, okay, do you want to create a LEMP web Linux? And for those that maybe don't know about that, this is the web application based on Linux OS. And then you have several options here. If you want to go with guided mode, or if you want to guided deployment, or if we want to go with quick deployment. In this demo, I used quick deployment because I wanted to show you how Copilot can use different tasks or different process to deploy that. So as you can see, as soon as I selected the quick mode, it's open CLI shell inside portal, and using the LLM generating these kind of codes and scripts using the AZ module, or let's say AZ, Azure AZ, and then push them to Azure CLI. And it's a start deploying these kind of different resources in your environment. And I'm a bit speeded up this process because I want to show you the result of the deployment. And as you can see in the left side hand, it says step 10 of 16. So it means it's going to create a lot of it can create a lot of resources in behind the scene, and using AZ to run these codes. So as you can see, it's almost done. And this is the result. So basically, it's created several resources related to web application that I needed. And the good thing is it's following the best practices. So you already follow the best practices by using Copilot. And it's really amazing. And with the improvement that is coming to Copilot very soon, you will get better access, or let's say you can see better performance of the Copilot. So I have another demo which is a bit funny, and I would like to share about that because I would like you just understand how you can leverage Copilot for your environment. In this demo, basically, we went through another operate way. As you know, you have a different color theme for your Azure portal. I asked Copilot, I want to change the theme color to black mode, or let's say dark mode. So as you can see easily, it changed the color of my Azure portal theme to dark mode. And then one thing that I would like to mention here, you can ask some other questions related to it's called it a feedback answer. So you can leverage those feedback answer. In this demo, I used feedback answer to ask Copilot to provide me all of theme colors or name of themes that I have in my environment. And as you can see, it's provided a different name of this theme that I have in Azure Azure portal. And then I used change it to blue one, and again it changed it to blue theme of my Azure portal. Perfect. So we learn about operate part. Let's jump to the optimize part. So optimizing is key to getting most out of your cloud investment. So it's really important, and I believe this section, this part, will help you a lot in improving cost and performance of your environment. So it involves enhancing the efficiency and performance of your resources. So ensuring without unnecessary overhead sorry, you can actually optimize your environment easily. So Microsoft Copilot for Azure provides various strategy and tools to help you to optimize your cloud resources, which is great. And it's from performance tuning to cost management, which is great. And with Azure or Microsoft Copilot for Azure, you can analyze the performance of your applications, identify bottlenecks, and receive recommendations on how to improve in an efficient way in your environment. So Copilot can help you to adjust resource configurations and implement best practices to make sure that you are using the optimal way of your optimal performance of your environment. So this is a great capability, and you can reduce a lot of costs and responding or deliver better performance of your services. So it's pretty much great. In this case, since I wanted to show you what kind of answer you can get from Copilot, I actually create some screenshot from a real world customer's environment. And this kind of information that you can see here, it's from big customers' environment with bunch of subscriptions, resources, and so on. So from left side hand, the picture that you can see, I asked about the recommendation that I can save cost in customer environment. And it's really great because Copilot leveraged Azure Advisor to be able to show this information to me. For those who are familiar with Azure Advisor, you already know that you can get some of this information if you navigate to Azure Advisor and go to cost recommendations, and then you can see this information. But now you can use Copilot, ask your question, and it will gather all of information that you need about all of your tenants, subscription inside your tenants, and then back to you with proper answer that give you some information plus how you can basically reduce those costs in your environment. In the middle image, also I ask a question about cost analysis in last month. So I can get an overview of my environment which resources are most costly, how much, and basically it gives me a lot of information that I can use to reduce the cost and so on. And the last image in this is a slide. You can see that I asked this display all managed disk unattached to any virtual machine. So if you are an Azure admin right now, you know it can be very costly if you forgot to remove your unattached disk from your environment, because you are paying for a disk that you are not using anymore. So normally you can leverage PowerShell, you can use query that you need to write it down and then run it in your environment. If you have a bunch of subscriptions in your environment, it's pretty hard to get a proper answer to find those kind of unattached disk. But now with Copilot, you have this chance to ask your question from Copilot. It will use resource graph and get information for your environment and give you a proper answer about unattached disk in this case. So one thing that I would like to mention, it's great because if it cannot run the query in the backend, it gives you the query, and if you press run, it will open a new windows is in resource graph, and you can use the same code to search it for your environment. So it's not only answering to your question, but also it can provide you the query that you can use it for a lot of things, not only for Copilot. So it's really great because it's not just giving you an answer, but it's help you to improve your knowledge as well. So you can easily ask a question, okay, write me a query that I want to do something like, I don't know, identify all of Linux machines that I have in my environment. And it's going to write that query based on, for example, resource graph that you are looking for. So this part of optimization, it's great, and you can use it a lot for your day-to-day tasks. So we just learned about optimize part. Let's jump to the troubleshoot, because this part is pretty much important as well. Why? Because yeah, you can have several resources, you will face some issue, and then to identify those kind of problem, yes, you can have that knowledge right now to know how you can go and which part you have to be checked. And in some cases, you need to start Googling around, right? And get better understanding about the issue. But in this case, same as the other part of that I explained it just now, you can leverage Copilot for Azure to help you to identify and resolve the issue. So troubleshoot is a very important part for your environment. You should have enough knowledge, plus you should be able to use that knowledge to how to fix the problem. However, when you use Copilot, it helps you to find various issue on across all of your subscription and resources. For example, if you have configuration error, performance bottleneck, or unexpected failures. So Copilot for Azure help you to quickly identify and resolve this issue by providing insights and recommendations based on real-time data and historical trends. So it's pretty much amazing, right? So if you want to leverage that, you just need to describe the problem you are facing, and it will provide possible solution and guidance on how to resolve the issue, instead of trying to find the issue and then Google it and trying to find the answer. But the good things about Azure Copilot is, for example, if you have a function app, if you navigate to function app and name the resource that you're looking for to identify the problem, it's starting using resource graph to get some information, gathering information to help you what is the problem with your resource. So Here, again, in a customer tenant, I use Copilot to identify a very simple issue which is related to SSH connection. So as you can see in the left side hand image, I have issue with SSH connection to my Linux machine. So the first question that it asks from me, it says, okay, which virtual machine you are looking for? And it's great because it's identified which VM is a Linux machine, and it needs to be start, troubleshooting on it. So I selected that VM that I have problem with, and with some getting information, it's identified that can be related to some, port issue or firewall issue. So it's recommended a list of things that I can check in my environment. And it's really great because these kind of recommendations, you have to Googling around to get some information about that. And then after I identify the issue, I ask again from Copilot about how can I fix it. So in this case, I ask, okay, I have I identified the issue is related to inbound port of my NSG, network security group, and how can I fix it? And it's provided me the information without trying to open another browser, because yeah, if you're like me, when there is some problem, you have 1,000 tabs open until you fix the problem and then start clicking, closing the tabs. So it helps you to at least reduce those open tab on your browser. So it's really great. You can leverage that, and it's a very simple question that I've asked, but of course you can make it more complex, but I'll tell you how you can do that in a minute. But it's important that you be able to ask proper question from AI. So for those that they want to learn more about Copilot for Azure backend. So in this data flow, thanks so much to George Moore, who has created this diagram. You can easily find this diagram in his article on Microsoft Learn document. I use the same image, and to just very easy explain that. As you can see, you have two parts. One part is related to Copilot side and let's say infrastructure part. And the second one is some other things related to Azure Portal. So if we check the Copilot front end, of course, you have the chat UX and so on, adaptive cards. And then you have some orchestrations part. And just, Copilot for Azure is using the same AI infrastructure, which is Azure OpenAI infrastructure, which is really powerful. So just when you ask a question in Azure Portal, you have the chat box. Copilot start getting context from your question, and then using prompt context and question, using plugin stores that can be using like doc and learns related to Microsoft documents and so on, checking if it's KQL query, and the other plugins that needs to be identified by Copilot based on questions, and then leverage either Azure Copilot or Coast to Code to be able to answer your question. And basically it's some communication between Copilot and Azure Portal to get some information from your environment. So if you want to learn more about that, just check George Moore article. It's pretty much good, so you can get very good understanding about Azure Copilot, Copilot for Azure, architecture. So far, we understand how we can use Copilot for Azure, but one more important thing is Azure Copilot for Azure is like other resources in Azure, can use RBAC or role-based access control. And security is pretty much important. Why? Because only admins actually should use this service. So when you, for the first time, want to use Azure Copilot for Azure, basically you can see this message that, okay, maybe you don't have access to this service in your Azure portal. However, you have this option to give users access to Copilot for Azure. If you search for Copilot for Azure Admin Center in your Azure portal, you will navigate to this page, and you have a preview button here, which is available for all users. If you enable this feature, it means all users that have enough access in your Azure portal can leverage Azure Copilot for Azure. But it's not security best practices, right? So what we can do, you can turn off this option, and then you can go to RBAC, role-based access control. And from there, you can give users access with a specific role-based access to your Copilot for Azure. So keeping in your mind that you should control the access on your environment. Of course, Copilot won't let people to do some crazy things in your environment. However, as an admin, you should make sure that you give them least privilege to your environment, and it's based on security best practices that we always need to follow. So a tricky part about Copilot for Azure. So if you already using AI for your daily basis tasks, you already know prompt engineering or understanding writing a good prompt is the most important part of usage of AI. You can be an expert with infrastructure part of AI. However, the prompt is pretty much important because this is the way that you can communicate with your AI service, with your AI agent, with your AI assistant. So writing a good or effective prompts, it's very important to get a proper answer from Copilot for Azure. So in this example, instead of writing just check performance, which is not really understandable from Copilot, or if it's understand, it's reply to you with not a very accurate answer, you should write check the performance of Azure SQL database in last 24 hours. And with this question, Copilot will identify and scopize your question. For example, okay, first of all, we need to check the performance, which service, Azure SQL database, how much in last 24 hours. And with this question, it will reply to you which resource. And if you have databases in your Azure databases in your environment, you just need to check it and say to Copilot to continue with performance check in your environment. So it's pretty much important, and it's a kind of tricky way of using Copilot for Azure in a best way. So make sure that you are using a good prompt for your Copilot for Azure. So another cool things about Copilot. I don't know if you already using Azure application on your mobile phone. I really love it, to be honest. I use this application time to time, checking performance, if there is any resources that needs to be checked, or if you want to have an overview of your service. You have a lot of options. I'm not saying that you can control entire environment from the mobile application, which is not good. But imagine that you are not front of your computer, and then you face some, let's say, performance issue, or you got an alert from your environment. This feature will help you a lot to basically get more information from your environment. So Copilot for Azure inside Azure mobile application will help you a lot to leverage AI to manage your environment. So like optimization, performance checking, some security check in your environment, checking advisor just on your mobile phone. So make sure that you can use this feature as well. I think I got this item on my phone, on my Azure mobile application in like, I don't know, last update, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks ago. So it's pretty much good. I've tested several times. And as soon as you click on that Copilot button, you will get the same UI of Copilot for Azure that you can see inside your Azure portal. Let's learn some best practices. I have 4 items here that I would like to mention about that. One of them, which is the first one, an important one I already mentioned, that you have to ensure about your prompts, that it should be enough clear and specific about your question and about your resource that you are going to ask question about that. The other one is normal Azure, every Azure admin in the world doing this, but before Copilot, you were doing that basically with some maybe automation, maybe some manual tasks, or maybe some report system. But now with Copilot, you can review and refine your cloud architecture based on Copilot recommendation. So make sure that you are using that. So basically, you can automate routine tasks and reduce operational overhead and focus on strategic, or let's say you can spend more energy and you can skill up your knowledge, which is really important. It's part of cloud adoption framework as well. You need to improve your knowledge day to day. And then you need to be staying informed about new features about Azure Copilot, or let's say Copilot for Azure. The one things that I want to mention, maybe you say, okay, Azure Copilot or Microsoft Copilot for Azure. So I used to say Azure Copilot, but Microsoft decided to change it to Microsoft Copilot for Azure. And the reason of that is now Microsoft Copilot is the main service or main product, and we can use that for the other services or environment as well. So we have Microsoft Copilot for example, M365, or Microsoft Copilot for like Fabric, Microsoft Copilot for Azure in this case. That's why sometimes I conflict the names. So here, the important part, if you are a fan of on-premise environment, hybrid cloud, and so on, basically you can leverage that. But before we go with that slides, how you can start with that. So here you may already have this Copilot option in your environment, or you may need to send requests to get access to Copilot environments. So there is a form that you can use that form to send your request to be able to use Copilot for Azure. You just need to fill it out, send it to Microsoft, and I think after several days, you will get access and you will see Copilot options in your environment. However, most of the time, you can see, in most cases, I've seen that is available for the tenants. One thing that I would like to mention here, because people ask me this question several times, and they are a bit concerned that what kind of data is going to be store in Microsoft backend, because it's Azure environment, right? It's all about AI responsibility, AI security, and so on. The only time that basically your content of a specific chat will be saved in Microsoft backend, or let's say for some performance checking, is when you use this thumb up, or let's say like or dislike option. And then for dislike option, if you press that, a submit feedback form for Microsoft will be open. You can give some information and make sure that you're using that, right? You can help Microsoft to improve it very fast. However, if you use that, the specific chat, a specific context of chat that you let's say disliked and sent feedback will be saved, stored in Microsoft backend, so the engineers can understand what was the problem, what was the question, why the answer wasn't related, and so on. So that's the only time that basically the context of the chat will be saved in Microsoft data store. So that's the important part that you should know. Right now, we have some limitation on Microsoft Copilot on Azure, which is, it's still improving, right? So, for example, you have action on more than 10 resources that must be done outside of Microsoft Copilot for Azure. It means if you have some query about more than 10 resources, then it gives you some information. For example, a query, or let's say a graph query, that you can use that query, press run, and it will be open in the other page, so you can continue your work. And also there is limited to 15 requests per chat and 10 chat per 24 hours. It means every time that you open a chat, you can see you have 15 requests. And basically, if you reach to that 15 requests, you can create a new chat, and you have 10 new chat per 24 hours. Another one is, some tasks need Azure Resource ID. That can be more understandable for Copilot to be able to do the tasks. And then it's only available for in English language right now. But a lot of improving is coming from Microsoft. So that's all. The only things that I would like to say, because I think somehow I jumped from that slide, it's about the Microsoft Copilot for Azure and on-premise hybrid environment. It's really great, because if you are using Azure Arc, if you are using Azure Stack HCI, and it helps you a lot to get very good understanding of your environment. It helps you a lot, because with that scale, with that size of environment, it's a bit hard to get information, knowledge of your environment. So Copilot will help you to get very good understanding of your hybrid environment. So thank you so much. If you want to connect me, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and so on. So hope you enjoyed these sessions. I can see some comments here. Rav?
Yes, Saeed, we have one question from Somit. Can we enable developer mode here in Azure Copilot?
Not yet, but what I can say, basically, if you're talking about the level of access right now, you have RBAC to be able to set different level of access to Copilot. But for developer mode, I say no, because there are some other things that you need to be considered about that. But right now, it's in public preview. Some limitations are there, and yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Saeed. I don't think we have any more questions, but thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hope people enjoyed this session, and yeah, thanks again.
Thank you.